something I haven't looked at is the valance. It kind of half fits. It needs sanding and painting, but what you can see is, well, I've got to get it aligned to the holes there where the bumper bolts on. This flange doesn't quite align. Now that might be because this one's out, but I don't know. So this needs a little bit of massaging, and it needs pulling under a bit. The other side is flat against here, but is sticking out too much here, and that doesn't want to pull under. So what I think I need to do is stretch the flange that is here to push it inwards a little bit. Maybe clearance a little bit of metal there. Shrink the flange that's under here to pull it in a bit. So just get it pulled in and forward, and then look at the way that this joins there, and see if I can get some, you know, manipulate the flange to get it to meet nicely, and drill the holes to get it to mount in there. So I'll work on this for a little bit, and then I'll bring it back when I can tell what's going on. That's very close to that exhaust mount. That's very close to that. Oh, it is clear. Okay. Now I'm looking in the camera, it's a bit more clear than I thought, so that's not too bad. Okay, leave it with me then, and I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello, I've done some shrinking, stretching, bumping, banging, reshaping of flanges, and it doesn't fit too bad, to be honest. It's kind of aligned up with these bolt holes. This flange wants forming a little bit better. I think I want to just put a little stretch here to bring this corner forward a little bit. That flange fits there quite well, because I believe this is factory, this little flange here. I've got some fiberglass in the corner there that I think I need to sand out. I'm hoping I might be able to spot weld, but I've got to really make sure it fits well, touching, you know, properly. I've had to reshape this end quite dramatically, reshape the flange, and do a lot of shrinking along here and a little bit of stretching along here. I'm not sure if I'm 100% happy with it. These bolt holes are, that one's not too bad. That one will need filing. I think, you know, for what it is, it's gonna do. I've got some more work and preparation to do, but hopefully, yeah. I don't know if I'm ready to try and actually weld it on in this session, because this is kind of more or less an afterthought. You know, I was working on the exhaust and things half hour ago, but yeah, it'd be good to get that on. I was thinking of just having it screwed on, but a gentleman that comments on the video said no, it's better if it's welded on, because it can add a lot of strength to the back of the body. Okay, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Cheers then, bye. Hello. I've been welding on the rear valance. Some of these are okay. One or two of them I'm not sure about. For instance, that one. I think that one's okay. I don't think that one took. I don't think that one took. So I might drill and plug weld a couple of holes. Yeah, I just don't know, to be honest. I don't think it's hypercritical. I was just thinking of having this bolted on anyway. I have just pinched there, there and there and got that little seam welded, and I'll do the same on the other side. The welder's quite hot now, but those are only just very short, quick welds. There's not much to this. I'll just give it a little bump with the hammer to push it in a little bit. I think it'll be okay. I think probably 2 out of the wherever many are, 10 or 11, haven't taken. But I think that'll be okay. I'm going to put a weld there and a weld there, and there'll be bolts through there as well, and the same the other side, so I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. I'll put the camera on the tripod just to show me doing those last couple of welds. Hang on. Tripod. Where is the tripod? That's all it takes on those because they're so close to the edge. Not going to go mad with those. See, that's attached. I might let the welder cool down before I try these ones because these are a thicker piece of metal. So, time to let it all cool down. Don't know if it's exactly the right shape, but it's on there. These are pretty well attached. I'll file these holes so the bolts can go through, and I'll get my grinder and I'll just slash cut that exhaust as well. I think that looks okay, and I actually wasn't expecting to do that job today, so that's a bonus, isn't it, in a way? Right, okay. I don't know if I'm happy with it or not, to be honest. But I had the problem is that the metal isn't naturally trying to fit together very well, and I'm going through 3 layers. Yeah, that don't feel like it's taken, but it is right in this area where that is, so yeah, it'll be well attached anyway. You know, I can't even touch this now without my gloves on. Oh yeah, that's really hot. Okay, time to let that cool down. Okay, back in a bit then. Okay, I've finished. Oh, hear that? That's a weld letting go. I haven't finished. I might have to, yeah, okay. Right, I've finished the welding. I went along all these welds and I squeezed them, and if you can squeeze them and you feel something giving, you know the weld hasn't taken. So I've drilled and plugged in 4 locations there. I have spot welded here and there and there and there, but I did hear something go bang then, so I think that one has let go. So I will clamp it down properly and give it another go. I'll hammer and dolly it to get the metal so it's touching. I'll give it one more go, but it'll be alright because the bolt's on there anyway. And I've filed the bolt holes. Okay, so that is done, and I'm about at the end of my session today, so that's probably pretty good timing. So spot welder, yeah, okay, with its limitations. MIG welder, great. So that is actually another job off the list, isn't it? The Valance has been fettled and fitted, so that's good. So the only really major welding job left is this here, and I want it down on the ground to do that. You know, I've never seen one so bad. Okay, righto. Thanks very much for joining me in the garage then. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye. Hello, good morning. I've come back out to the garage today, and I thought for the time it takes, I'm going to redo the welding on the Valance, plug welds across the whole thing. So I've drilled them all out. A lot of them went right the way through, so I've got a little copper piece that I've made that goes behind, and it's held on with the clamp there. So I'm going to weld it with the MIG welder. A gentleman made a comment on the video saying, can you show more welding? So I'll show this little series of plug welds across the Valance here. There's my piece that I made to go behind. Yeah, if you see an old bit of copper pipe, just pick it up. I found this when I was walking the dog. You know, it makes a handy tool. It's handy that this has got, like, you know, a bit of extra pipe on it as a handle. It works really well. Turn my gas off. I forgot to do this when I came out of the garage yesterday, and it was still on when I came to it just 20 minutes ago, so I've made sure I've turned it off this time. So yeah, so I've got a series of plug welds all the way along now. Yeah, it wasn't very happy trying to do through 3 thicknesses here, and to be honest, I struggled before when I was just trying to put the boot panel onto here. I hadn't had much experience, and I hadn't got the 2 pieces of metal fitting together at the right angle, so it struggled. I mean, I think probably 2/3 of the welds had taken, but I know some of them hadn't. So I redid some yesterday, and I've just come out of the garage. I thought, well, for what it's took, you know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'll just redo them. So these all need grinding now and sanding. Okay, righto. Anyway, that Valance is well and truly fitted and really solid. I'll have a think about what I'm going to do, and I'll bring you back when there's more to show. I'm going to try and just trim that a little bit. put a slight angle on it, but if I was feeling keen I'd replace the, you know, part of the pipe, but hey, let's just see how we get on with that. That'll do for now. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. It's run all over the place, that has. Fucking rubbish. That's the worst paint I've ever had, that is. Absolute crap. It had this special nozzle, but it just puts too much on. I swapped the nozzle and it went on okay. I'll let that dry and I'll give it a dusting over with black. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Thought I'd turn the camera on while I put the wheels on, because it's quite a significant moment, isn't it, when you think you can put the wheels on. There's two that don't have very many weights on, so I'm going to put those on the front. Okay, well there's the wheels on, and oops, there's the wheels on. I won't put the hubcaps on. I've got to put some air in one of them because I had it low for doing the brake bleeding. I'll put another little bit of paint on that rear valance. Well, it's better than nothing. And nothing is what I started with, so that's alright, I think. Overall I'm quite pleased with the job on the Valance. Come out pretty well, I think. That was one, I bought that at a reduced price because it was damaged, it was a bit dented, and it got a little bit of surface rust on it, so you know, it fits this car, doesn't it? It's alright. Okay, thanks for joining me in the garage. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then. Bye. Well, I just put a little bit of air in the tyres. I put 30 in the back and 32 in the front. They were already up around that area anyway. Yeah, just something to get it rolling. Can I just say something that's really good? In my little side shed here, I've got a little compressor. It's not something that would be big enough for doing painting or anything like that, but it's a little compressor. I got it from Aldi or Lidl, probably Aldi at the time. So that's there. That's been there for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. Just sits there. Up here is up here is a 10-metre air hose reel, and that swings, is on a bracket like that, and it swings around like that. So if you're outside, you can reel it outside. So that's useful. And you've just seen me go all the way down there and use it to blow the tyres up, but also I used it for cooling the welds at the back of the car, so it reaches all down to the other end of the garage, nearly, but far enough to use. And here over the lathe is a switch that says lights, and it's for these lights here, but it's also for the compressor. When I switch that on, the compressor is powered. So if I want to use the compressor, I just turn it on there. But you see, the thing is, imagine if I'm using the milling machine and the lathe, I've got compressed air on hand, just to blow the chuck clean and things like that, just to blow things, which is handy and useful. And that is one of the most handy things I've got, to be honest. The little air compressor there, switched on here, the reel there, which can go outside or in here, and then a selection of things that go on the end. So there you are, top tip, compressor, reel, various things, very useful. Okay, I'm just looking at the car with the wheels and it looks, yeah, I like it. I'm not going to put the hubcaps on. So the question is, this is me to myself, do I take it down off the stands yet? I think I might, actually. I think I might take it down off the stands. I might have to put it back on the stands, but I'll take it off the stands just to have it sitting down on the ground, just to see how it looks, because I'm interested to see how those rear springs sit, having cleaned and painted them and put new washers in. So let's get it down off the stands and see how it sits. I almost couldn't get the jack out from under the back. Well, there she is, back down on the ground. Looking pretty handsome, I'd say. Could do with it being a bit lower at the front. I think it'll come down at the front when it rolls because it's kind of stuck on the angles with the tyres. Front end looks okay, doesn't it, with the bumper and that and the grille? Yeah, it's looking alright. I think the back end's sitting okay. Not low or sagged. But bear in mind it doesn't have any seats in it. No trim. Doesn't have the petrol tank in it, so it'll come down a bit. You know, when it's got a driver in it and everything. All the fluids. It has got water in the radiator. I need to be careful of that because it is just water. I wanted to put it down on the ground because of a job that I want to tackle at the back. But it's amazing how low it looks now. You know, that valance that I was working on, it's right down there now. It's hardly noticeable. So I've painted that. That's looking okay. I won't put the bumper on because I've got to do a lot of work in this area here, and I'll be leaning over the back. So I'm going to take the boot lid off and start looking at this area here. Because it's got all this dirt on it from being worked on, it might be time for it to have a wash. I was going to leave it, but this isn't dirt from it being stored. This is dirt from me doing the work, so it's kind of fresh dirt, isn't it? I might just give it a little bit of a wash without going too mad. Yeah, I like it. It's looking okay. Sorry for me just sort of standing here looking at it, but that's why I've got it down off the stands. Yeah, looking good, looking good. Got to put some better number plates on. I've bought some stick-on letters because basically you can get number plates made, but if you want to send off to get some decent old ones pressed, you have to send like your passport, a utility bill, not copies or photos, the originals. I ain't going to do that, so I've just bought some stickers to make some number plates. I'll make my own. The doors are less noticeable, aren't they, when they're down lower like that. And the sills. Yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Quite pleased with that. So yeah, that's a logical place to kind of end the video, I think. So that's it back down on the ground. So now I can look at each individual job and either have it jacked up or not jacked up. You know, depending on what the job needs. Thanks for everybody that's followed along on the journey with this car. I feel like I'm getting somewhere now, and hopefully, you know, within, let's say, the next few weeks, it ought to be running and driving. So, thanks very much for following along. Thanks very much for those that have subscribed. Thanks very much for those that leave a comment and click like. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then. Bye. This is the disaster area that I've got to address.